What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. I think we have a stable stream today, so you're actually going to get some video. You're going to get some audio. Wow, amazing, amazing. You know what else you're going to get? Construction noise. So just letting you know that there will be the occasional banging, there will be the occasional drill, but we'll power through. We'll power through. Today's show, we're going to cover Bitcoin. I want to cover what's going on in the miners. I want to cover the ETFs, but most importantly, due to popular demand, shitcoins. So any project that you want to take a look at, we're going to go over Bitcoin dominance and how we can kind of see that little bit of a rotation that's happening in the charts. And with a rotation comes price action to your favorite shitcoins. So whatever ticker you want to spam, go ahead, get down there and start spamming your tickers, because we're going to be taking a look at a lot of shitcoins today. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the king of all crypto. That is Bitcoin. All right, so we're not going to do the Wyckoff stuff today. It's been done to death, and I have videos being released on it again. So don't worry about that. What I want to talk about is this little bad boy right here. This is the hash ribbons. So what the hash ribbons represent is miner profitability. Is it a good time to be a miner, or is it a bad time to be a miner? Are the Bitcoin miners making money, or are the Bitcoin miners losing money? Okay. This gray line represents the break-even price of Bitcoin mining, meaning the amount of electricity going in is equal to the amount of Bitcoin coming out. Okay. And when you have these long rallies where it requires less electricity to produce, it costs less in electricity than it does to create the coins, you get a long area of profitability that always comes to an end. It's not going to be, sunshine and roses for the miners all the time, and they go into this area where they are not profitable, and that's what we've been in. We refer to this as miner capitulation. Okay. It means that the miners are they're spending more on electricity than they are getting out coins. So what a lot of miners do is they turn their machines off. Or if they're a big miner, they don't turn their machines off. What they do is they sell some of the Bitcoin that they've mined previously. The big miners, they have a ton of Bitcoin. The number one source of supply in this market, the number one source of supply is miner issuance. One day that will change. Every 4 years we get a halving, so the miners get less and less Bitcoin, so they're going to have less and less of an effect on the market, but they still have an effect on the market. They still have an effect on the market. And when they go into this miner capitulation, they start selling their Bitcoin, and that hits the books. It hits the books hard. They work directly with the exchanges, and it has a large effect. But the good news is, we got this little signal right here, this blue buy signal right here flashing. That means that the miner capitulation that lasted approximately 69 days. So yeah, we'll call it 70 days, over 2 months of miners shutting their machines off. Those who have survived, those who have made it this far, are now seeing profits again. They're now back in the green. Everything, all the resources that they put towards their equipment is turning a profit. Why this is important is it goes back to the miners hodling again. They don't sell more than they need. They can accumulate more because the electricity costs less. The electricity costs the same. They can accumulate more than what they put in with the electricity. All right. Now let's take a look at what this has done in the past. So let's pull up the price chart. Let's go to logarithmic. Let's go to the weekly. And let's go down. Let's take a trip down memory lane. Let's make the RSI a little bit smaller. We don't need the RSI for this. Let's take a trip down memory lane in miner profitability. So we got a blue buy signal right here. That blue buy signal came right before a little bit of a dump there, but ultimately it was a positive signal. You could see that from the flash of this signal, we moved up 131%. So that was a very profitable signal. This one back here gave us a profit of 50%. This one over here, this was, you know, choppy environment, but it still managed to get you, it still managed to call a 50% move. So not all of these are winners, okay? Not all of them are winners, but most of them are. It's a very powerful metric. Let's check this one back here. That was 220%. So we haven't seen any losing signals just yet. Here's one back here. This one's was right after the halving, by the way, too, if you want to make note of that. And that one that happened just after the halving, I mean, that one, we can say there was a minor capitulation, but there would have been no technical reason for you to remove your position from that price. That was a 586% move. You see what I mean, though? Like, there was no, we had two capitulations in the mining industry, but this capitulation right here didn't affect price. You wouldn't have gotten out of that position. So yes, the miners capitulated, but we didn't. We held on to that position. Here is the halving back here, and this is the first buy after our current halving. So could we be seeing a 500% move after this? I've been thinking that this, you know, if we break out here, if we break out of this consolidation, I think it's going to kick off phase 2 of the bull market. What would a 500% move look like? 500% move gets us up to $400,000. $400,000. Is that too bullish for you, Anand? Is that too bullish? So that's the miners. That's kind of the supply side. We'll do a little bit more fundamentals, then we'll get into the shit coins here. I want to talk about ETF inflows. ETFs, guys, like there's a little tiny dip in the market. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me what a price difference will do to the sentiment of the market. It's laughable. It's laughable. 1 week, the entire market is incredibly bullish. The next week, you get a tiny little dip. Tiny. Look at this fucking dip. It's embarrassing. If you guys are scared of this, you should be embarrassed. But the sentiment changed. Sentiment changed. People are calling for much lower levels. Oh my God, we had a 6% dip. 6% dip holding support in an LPS after a creek line break with this Wyckoff accumulation. Fucking stop the presses. Let's get out of here. Meanwhile, how do I undo what I just did there? Uh-oh. I lost it. ETFs. Meanwhile, the ETFs have been buying again. We had a period of a lot of selling. Look at all this selling back here. Kind of equal, you know, Grayscale. Grayscale was selling at kind of equal or parity to what had been bought. Now we're not seeing any selling, and we're seeing massive buys. BlackRock nearly bought $1 billion worth of Bitcoin on June 3rd. It again bought a $500 million worth of Bitcoin on July 22nd. That was the launch of Bangbox, by the way. May as well just do a little shout out. Guys, sign up for Blackbox. We are growing so fast. We are growing so fast, and we have come to the realization that problems that we thought were going to happen way down the line are going to be realized much faster. So yes, everything is free. Okay. Yes, it costs you nothing to set up the bot. It costs you nothing to run the bot. All you're doing is paying the exchange fees that you're paying anyways. But I am going to say at some point we have to cap it. We're not going to charge anybody anything. Okay. But we are going to cap the strategy, meaning that you will not be able to get in unless we join with another exchange, or unless we come up with a different strategy, or unless we make another pair. So there is an urgency for you to get in. Just saying, okay? It's not because, you know, the flash sale's over and we're going to start charging. No, it's going to be free, but we have to cap it. We can't have, you know, thousands of people on the same strategy because it hits the order book too hard. So get signed up before we close it. We put 0.1 BTC in this on the 22nd. It's got 0.123 BTC right now. We made 23% in a week, 23% more Bitcoin. I live in New York. You can't sign up any way around it besides a VPN. Yeah, digital ID. Go Google DID program of Palau. 100% legal. Let's take a look. Let's take a gander. RSN, DID Palau. This is a government-run program. This is 100% legit. Okay. This gives you a residency in the country of Palau. So when you go to sign up for an exchange, no, you don't live in New York. You are a resident of Palau. You are a digital resident of Palau. You can do all of your KYC, and that's 100% legal. The taxes for Palau are 0. The taxes for America are taxed globally. So you would take your global taxes and so the money you make in Palau gets taxed 0, and you pay the taxes on that income in the US. So your tax burden's exactly the same. Obviously, go talk with an accountant, see what they think of this, but this is a government-run program. You should watch the video. There's a really cool video about it where, you know, a lot of the proceeds go towards natural preservation of the reefs in this part of the world. These small island nations, they don't have a GDP. They don't have a GDP. So what do? You know, the Cayman Islands does shell companies. Panama does shell companies as well. A lot of these island nations do these types of corporate structures, but this is the first time that it's been like a retail targeted corporate structure government program. But you got to do your own research. You got to do your own. But where there's a will, there's a way, my friend. Where there is a will, there is a way. All right. So that's the ETFs. We're going to switch gears here into shitcoin mode. And to get us ready for shitcoin mode, we got to look at the shitcoin chart. The holy barometer, the North Star of altcoin season, Bitcoin dominance. I'm going to get the chat visible here. And you can also scan the QR code if you're not already in the Discord. Ladies and gentlemen, get into the Discord. We have a lot of fun in there. All right. So let's go to the weekly. It's still in an uptrend, but I am very confident. I am very confident that we are not going to break through this 60% resistance. It's not impossible. We totally can do it. We can break through. And if that's the case, then you got to hold off on going heavy on alts. But I think this is going to be a rejection point. We have this kind of bearish pennant formation, kind of the beginnings of a distribution. I wouldn't be surprised for us to kind of chop around in here. And chop might be favorable for the alts. You might get a little bit of a popcorn season as we chop around in here. But eventually, we will break down. And when we get below 50%, full-blown altcoin season. This is just going to start to plummet. and it's probably going to go down to 40% again. This right here is the most incredible, the easiest trading of your life. Okay, this is not. You cannot trade well in this environment if you're exposing yourself to altcoins. That's where it's like shooting fish in a barrel. It's like taking candy from a baby. It's so easy. It's the most ridiculous. Everybody becomes a genius. It's really, really easy. All right, let's catch up with the chat. I don't think we're going to break out. I don't think we're going to break past 60. So what that means is we can start to look at these alts with a different bias. If this isn't going to break out on 60, we can start to look at the alts with having the ability to experience a rotation and actually get a breakout. So we'll look at the structures, the individual structures of the alts. Let's catch up with the chat here. All right. $0x0 from Terry. 0x0. AI is going to be a big narrative. I don't think there's any place for AI in the crypto market as it stands right now. That being said, none of that shit matters. None of that shit matters in a bull market. So this is a newer coin, newer project. Looks like it got listed at least on BitGet. Is there an older chart? Let's take a look. Is there an older chart? No, it looks like it hit the market back in the beginning of July. I'm interested. What is this? What is this? AI smart contract. Fabulous name. Great name. Just stupendous. Looks like it's on the Ethereum network. Market cap 200 million, quite small. 24-hour trading volume abysmal, but that's fine. We're not in a bull market just yet. All right, well, what are we looking at? It's kind of a tricky, it's a tricky structure that we're dealing with currently. So here's the deal. Here's how you handle it. You basically need to buy a retest of this level, or you can buy a breakout of this level. That's very risky, by the way, buying a breakout of this level. So I would prefer, let's say we came up to this resistance point and then came back down. This is the honeypot. That's where you want to be buying. So anywhere in here is fantastic. Now, if this doesn't occur, let's say this is a bullish asset that the market really has a high amount of demand for and it just breaks out. Well, then your next kind of line is the all-time high break, which is, believe it or not, less risky. You have a higher probability of continuation with a break of this high than you do with a break of this resistance. Sorry, yes, resistance. Okay. I'm underexposed to Solana. I've been holding a very large bag of ETH. Looking at Solana ETH, I'm considering flipping some on a breakout. I know I'm late, but too late. Should I wait for the breakout? We don't give financial advice here. We don't give financial advice. I do share my thoughts and we look at the charts from a technical point of view, but I can't ultimately tell you what to do. But let's take a look at the Solana ETH chart. Yeah, it's at the resistance point, right? This is a pretty serious resistance too. So, you know, if it breaks out of that, this is a weird chart to be looking at, by the way, but you know, I understand why. If it breaks out of that, I don't know. I don't think either of them will be, like, moving forwards, both of them are going to rally quite significantly, in my opinion. There is no Solana ETF. So, you know, take that with what you will. There is an Ethereum ETF. So I don't know. I don't know how I would handle that because we are a little bit late in the game. Let's take a look at Solana on its own on the dollar pair. And it's just a nice chart. Let's go take a look at ETH on the dollar pair. There, yeah, it's kind of dealer's choice, man. Both are going to do well, in my opinion. Both are going to do well. So, you know, just kind of take it at that. I think, you know, as we enter into phase 2, pretty much everything's going to be a winner. So maybe instead of thinking, oh, should I allocate more into this or should I allocate more into that? You should look at your portfolio as a whole and think to yourself, how easy is it going to be for me to liquidate these assets when I believe the top has come in? If you're managing 20 fucking positions, that's going to be difficult. Some people find themselves managing 50 positions and they usually don't sell the top. So they don't need to worry about, you know, getting all these things organized. But I wouldn't over diversify too much. That's my, you know, that's my thoughts, because both of them are looking good. Both of them are looking good. So you'll have to just see. Up then down, then up again. That's the way she goes, Jenko. Up then down, then up again. That's the way she goes. Bet. Got a lot of AI requests in the chat today. This one's been around for a while. Yeah, I'd like to see it hold some sort of support level. So while Bitcoin's trying to make up its mind, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if it came down to below $1. It's got such a downside momentum right now. It's going to take a while for the market to digest this move. Clearly, there was some sort of big announcement that got the market way overhyped, okay? And as a result, a lot of rich people took a lot of profits. So I think this one's going to take some time to digest. This one might be a later cycle play. Come down here, chop around for a few months, get a break and begin to start trending up again. But when you have this steep of a correction, it's going to take a little while. It's going to take a little while to digest. And it's not even on a swing low yet. There's no sign of this stopping just yet. Let's take a look at the volume, see what we can see in the volume. Yeah, we don't even have a volume spike yet. You want to see, like, if this was, it's called a stopping action. If this was approaching a floor, you would see some sort of spike in the volume, indicating that there's a stopping action taking place. But you're not seeing that yet. What you're seeing is a decline in volume. That's not good. That's not good. So this is going to, in my opinion, this is going to continue to fall. In the short term, it's going to continue to fall. And in the medium term, it's going to begin some sort of consolidation. You want to identify that consolidation and you want to buy a break of the breakout of the consolidation. So as soon as it starts trading sideways, start paying attention, because when it breaks that structure, that's when you're going to want to take an entry before it takes off. That's an arrow for those who can't read artistic illiteracy. When is Blowfin coming online? Blowfin is going to be ready for testing by Monday. We're going to test it for at least 2 signals, okay? We're confident that everything's connected correctly. But we've been confident in the past. If you were here at the launch, we had a few signals miss on coin margin. We're not going to do that again. Okay, we have to test it. So it'll be ready for testing by Monday, and then we're going to allow the market. You know, we get a trade every 3 days or so, so we're thinking about a week's worth of testing. Once we have that week in the books, we'll release it. So it's coming really soon. It's coming really soon. Hello from Southern California. The way it is 89. I lived in LA for 4 years. Then I got the fuck out of there. SoCal's got some nice spots, but Hollywood ain't one of them. Hollywood ain't one of them. Pepe and XRP. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my word. Oh my flavors. Yeah, these are tricky, man. Like, how do you trade this? How do you trade this? But it's a meme coin. Oh, fuck. How do you... There's no clean entry here. There's nothing nice. Like, there's no good risk to reward trade with something like this. There is a ton of risk with new entries on something like this because what's going on? Where's the fucking base? Where's the support? I don't know, man. Is it just a momentum play, a pure momentum play? With something like this, if I really wanted a position in Pepe, which I don't, but if I really wanted a position in Pepe, I would approach this from a market cycle perspective. And what I would do is I would, you know, the amount of money that I would typically lose on a trade is known as your risk, right? If I have a 1% stop loss on my position, I'm allowed to carry 100 times more risk. I'm allowed to carry a 100 times position. So if I have $100, I can put on a $10,000 position if I'm only risking 100 and my stop is at 1%. If you put a 1% stop loss on Pepe, you're going to lose the position. It's a 100% guarantee. And because there's no good entry here, you really have to make your position extremely protected from volatility. And the best way to do that is to make your risk the entire position. Make your risk the entire position. So if I typically risk $1,000, that's the position, $1,000. It can trade to fucking zero. That's my stop loss. My stop loss is zero. So it's probably not the answer you want to hear, but you know, when you're looking at something that just has no structure, it tells me that it's really driven by morons, which is not surprising. It's a meme coin. It's not surprising at all. The best risk to reward area to buy it, man, the drilling. Fucking drilling, man. I hope that's not too loud on the mic because it's fucking loud in my world. The best risk to reward is way the fuck down here, and I just don't see it coming back down there. So for me, this is a pass. I'm just not buying Pepe. I don't care. It's not for me. But if you really want a position, I would say keep your position size small so that your risk is small. It's not going to represent a large portion of your portfolio if you're a responsible trader. XRP is the favorite coin of those who don't like making money. It is the #1 coin to buy if you're afraid of making money. It's a technical show. It's a technical show. But man, yeah, I got to be careful. I got to be careful not to piss off the XRP evangelists, because, you know, the New World Order and the Great Reset. The Great Reset. XRP is going to be the currency of the Great Reset. So I better be careful with my words. But this is a piece of shit chart. This is absolute garbage. Let's look at XRP from a Bitcoin standard, because that's what anybody who is going to be looking at this that is intelligent is going to be making that comparison. So let's look at XRP BTC, because that's where we're going to see what we need to see as far as a breakout. And it's ugly. It's really ugly. Basically, XRP needs to get above at least this kind of floor that it made. It's got to get above this floor. So until XRP can get above, what is that? Wow, that's how many Satoshis it is? That is not a lot of Satoshis. Okay, until XRP can get above 1,200 Satoshis, can't believe how cheap it is. Until it can get above 1,200 sats, I wouldn't even begin to bother with this one. It's just, everybody thinks it's going to do this again. And maybe it does. Like, that's kind of its MO, is it just does these terrible, grinding, absolutely horrendous downtrends. And then in the span of 3 days, it's done something ridiculous. So, I don't know. I don't know. It's not a fun one to trade. It's a heavily manipulated one too, by the way. You know, the XR, like the Ripple Foundation sells a ton of XRP, and they created it out of thin air. I don't want to get too fundamental on XRP. Technicals, get it above 1,200 sats. XRP on the dollar. XRP on Bitcoin, get it above 1,200 sats. XRP on the dollar, got to get it above. It's at least got to take out this high. It's got to get a buck. Psychological. It's got to get above a buck. So if XRP can do that, fantastic. Elf? ALEPH? Elf? It's too many fucking coins, bro. It's too many fucking coins, bro. That's the one we want. That's the one we want. Is this it? No, it's this one. It's this one. Alpha 0. Is that right? Alpha 0? No, that's A0. Elf. What the fuck is this? Well, it's on the Ethereum network. Keep your dApp running smoothly thanks to our reliable Web3 cloud solutions. It's cloud solutions, cloud storage. Yeah, that's cool. You know, that's, you know, Amazon Web Service on Web3. But how expensive is it? Because like Amazon Web Service is very cheap. Low cost. Oh, there you go. It says right there on the website, low cost. I'm assuming this is the one. Very, very illiquid. I can just tell by the price action. Very illiquid. Hard to get in and out of this one. You experience a lot of slippage. What's the market cap on this? $33 million market cap. Yeah, that's down there, brother. That's down there. I don't think the market really cares about this one. But it's, you know, if you are a buyer, you're kind of in the spot. You're kind of in the spot where you would want to be a buyer. I just don't know how much demand, you know, price targets are one thing. The other thing is market demand. Does the market actually give a fuck about this coin? And you might give a fuck, but you are not the market, okay? So be very honest with yourself. Be very honest with yourself. Does the market give a fuck about Web3 cloud storage? When you look at the market behavior. For me, surface level, no, they don't. Not even close. They care about memes. They care about marketing. They care about all this garbage. So when you're really down in the weeds on page fucking 9 of CoinMarketCap and you're fucking around with ALF, I would proceed with caution. If you have strong fundamental conviction, all the power to you. And we're at the point where you would be a buyer. I just don't know how much demand you're going to get out of this one. Meaning, you know, demand translates to upwards price action. It can go up, but is it going to do a Solana? No. It's not going to do a Solana. No fucking way. So, yeah. Wojak. Speaking of market demand. Speaking of the essence of this market cycle thus far, the meme coins, the get rich quick scheme coins, the developer fucking rug coins. We got Wojak. Wojak, you know, that falls under the same vein as Pepe. It's a pizza. It's, you know, you got more demand in this. People can, and that isn't that fucked up? Isn't that fucking ridiculous? Doesn't that make you frustrated with humanity? That, you know, the market cares more about nothing. A meme cares more about nothing than it cares about cloud storage, which is actually something. But hey, don't hate it. Don't date it. Just trade it, my friend. Go with what the market goes with. If the market's filled with fools, you got to think like a fool. You want to make money with the morons, you got to be a moron. It's the way it works. I don't really know what I'm doing with this. It's not, nothing's really fitting, but there's kind of mildly, there's a higher high structure and a higher low structure. So you got something like this. I would be interested down here, down in this little honey pot right here. So somewhere around 0.00005. 0.0006 cents would be nice for Wojak. This one will have some demand because the market likes meme coins, but the volume is absolutely abysmal. So here's the thing. It's going to be, you know what we're going to do? You know what we're going to do? We're going to do a meme coin comparison because meme coins have no fundamental value whatsoever. They're completely useless. If you believe in a meme coin, I don't even know how to respond to that. But what we can do is we can analyze the market and we can analyze what the market thinks is a good meme coin to buy. And we can do this using the comparative tool. Okay, so it's right over here in the top, right next to our ticker. We got a plus symbol. Let's add some memes. Okay, let's add Doge. Let's add Doge. Let's add Shiba Inu. Let's add Pepe. Let's add pizza. What are some other fucking stupid meme coins? Let's add. Did anybody else post some memes here? Full sand. Let's take a look at some memes that we can add. Categories. Oh yeah, dog with hat. Let's go to the meme coins. Memes. There we are. Memes. Pepe, dog with hat. With. Go with the top. Don't even think about going below the top 10. Don't even fucking think about it. We'll do bonk and we'll do floki. That's it. You need demand. Unless you are getting these at the mint and you are an insider, if you want to have a chance at making money, you got to buy the ones that have the most visibility. The most visibility. All right, so now we'll go to a year's worth of price action. And let's take a look at what we got. Most of the memes are abysmal. Let's go year to date, see if that changes anything. Now we'll go to a year. Most of them are abysmal. With the exception, surprisingly enough, of Wojak. I am very surprised by that. I don't really care for the memes. Second place to that is Floki. So the market agrees with you, my friend. The market agrees with you that Wojak is worth a hold. Because in the last year, it's made the most money. It's made the most money. Some of these actually are down 40%. So you could be onto something. You could be onto something. So maybe the retest happens not as low. If we have good demand, maybe we just need a retest of this level. Somewhere around... Oh, I got to get rid of all these things now. And this is why we do comparative analysis. Because you can surprise yourself. So if we get a retest of 0.008, sorry, 0.0008 cents, then that would be okay, I think. That would be okay for an initial entry. But yeah, the winner, shockingly, is Wojak. Atom. Do people still care about Atom? It's been a rough go. It's been a rough go to be an Atom holder. Cosmos. But hey, you know, if this level holds, this is the buy zone. I just don't know about demand again. I just don't know about demand. We don't want the P. We just want the T. Yeah, you know, this is the buy zone. This is the buy zone. I'm not going to go into what I think it can do as far as price objections, because demand is a whole other beast, and there's not a lot you can do from a technical point of view to determine demand. Demand comes from analyzing the market objectively, looking at what people see interest in, and the easiest way you can do that is volumes. So if it's getting a lot of volume, if it's ranking high, you know that it has good potential for demand. But demand, you can't see demand with the technicals. But the technicals here are showing a support area buy. So if you are an Atom believer, it looks like a buy here. Okay. Now that doesn't mean we can't get a spring, right? In Wyckoff, you can get these fake out moves to the downside where then it comes back in and reclaims. Don't lose your conviction at a fake out to the downside. If you're getting shaken out of positions, it's very simple. You're trading too much. You have too much on the line and you don't have enough experience if you're getting shaken out of positions. So if the move does something like this and you sell and then it does something like that and that happens to you often, reduce your position size. Reduce your position size. Because it's too big for your emotional experience in these markets. Whiff. How about the bitmap? How about them bitmaps? All things ordinals, all things BRC20, all things DMT, all of it ain't gonna do shit until Bitcoin's above 100K. Until Bitcoin's above 100K, you're not going to see the Bitcoin ecosystem get demand again. It's very niche. It's very niche. There's a lot of FUD with bitmaps right now because this one bot is minting every single bitmap and then selling it at floor. So that's a lot of supply to chew through. You need a lot of demand to get through that. Once demand gets through that, it'll probably take off. But I'm not going to hold my breath on bitmap or anything BRC20 or any of it. Anything related to ordinals, I'm confident it will have another cycle. But I can't tell you when, and I just don't think it's going to happen below 100K. It's going to happen at higher levels. Bowden. Tremp. Good Lord. Whiff, Bowden, and Tremp. Why do I feel dirty doing Bowden and Tremp? Bowden. Oof. And Tremp. Man, I thought I was a degen. You guys are fucking degens. These were scams. You got scammed, bro. These were legitimately scams. These were what we call in the industry, in the very professional cryptocurrency industry, we call these rugs, brother. Launched March 9th. Let's pronounce this one dead. Time of day. This one's dead. No pulse. Bowden. These might get kicked back up again around the election. That's not what's going on. That's what's going on. But yeah, I don't know. This is nothing I want to be a part of. We'll do a little bit more of a detail on whiff. Oh no, I'm gonna start sneezing now. My allergies are acting up in Bali. I don't sneeze once. I sneeze many times, so prepare for that. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Whiff. We got nothing. We got nothing. We come back to the bottom here. Would be a good place to buy, and I use those words very liberally. But yeah. Here's the thing about memes, okay? Here's the thing about memes is they are truly scams. Okay. Most cryptos are scams. Rant incoming. Reduce or increase your volume as desired. Most cryptos are scams. How you used to have to scam back in the day is you needed to come up with a roadmap. Then you needed to come up with a team, and you needed to show investors what you were going to do for allocation and distribution. And you needed to do this, and you needed to do that, and you needed to do this, and you needed to do that. And it was a big amount of work. And you know what? The amount of work that you used to need to do to scam a person out of their money almost makes it okay compared to what we have today. Because now all you need is a Twitter account, some dude tweeting, and a contract address. You deploy a shit ton of tokens, you market the fucking tokens with a bunch of memes, and then when a bunch of people buy your tokens, you dump on them and you sell. It's hard for me to convince myself that conditions like that are conducive to multiple pumps. It's not impossible. Anything can happen in crypto, but I just don't see how a team can launch a token with very little to no effort, have a community buy their token, the developers dump the token on the community, and then have that repeat again. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. So the thing about memes is you got to be in at the beginning and you got to get out before the developers sell. It's pump and dump. It's pump and dump. You got to get in before the pump and you got to sell before the dump. It's aggressive. It's literally stealing money from people. So if you play in memes a lot, you don't need me to tell you this because you already understand it. If you're in memes a lot, you understand that you are just trying to capitalize on a public scam. So I don't need to tell you this, but if you're dabbling and you're looking to like build a portfolio that includes meme coins, I would caution you to be careful because they are quite literally scams. Unapologetically in a lot of circumstances as well. So just be careful out there. You know, go for stuff that has market demand. Go for stuff that has market trust. Bitcoin is a perfect example. It's a perfect fucking example. Okay? When you look at Bitcoin on the logarithmic, on the weekly, and you zoom the fuck out, you zoom way out, what does Bitcoin always do? It always comes back. It always comes back, okay? This is the rudimentary chart of Bitcoin. It pumps, it dumps, it pumps, it dumps, it pumps, it dumps. Here is the typical chart of a scam coin. Well, we haven't marketed it yet. We haven't marketed it yet. Marketing push, sell our coins. There we go. And it never comes back. It's a pump and a dump. That's it. So be careful out there. Make sure you have market consensus that this is a good idea and that it's something that has staying power. And that staying power is one cycle. You don't hold shitcoins for more than a cycle. That's my advice. But have fun. The bull market's coming. You know, vaporware flies off the shelves in the right conditions. Don't get me wrong. Okay, we can make money with things that are fundamentally very, very flawed. I'm not trying to say that there isn't money to be made, but the money goes to the people who are smart. You have to earn what you're being paid for. And I think that's a very important energetic note, is you need to earn what you are being paid for. If you are smarter than the developers, you deserve a little bit of a cut. If you know that they're pumping and about to dump on their community and you dump before them, that shows a level of intelligence that should entitle you to a little bit of profit sharing. But just know that, you know, a lot of these things are scams and you got to be on guard. You got to be on guard. And to those who think you can't make money in Bitcoin, Let me remind you that we have a bot that consistently outperforms altcoins. Consistently outperforms altcoins. We do 2,000% better than Bitcoin. And we do it consistently, and we do it with Bitcoin. Anybody that tells you you can't make money on Bitcoin has not experienced what it's like to actually make money on Bitcoin. You can make a shit ton of money on Bitcoin. You can change your life with no other cryptocurrency but Bitcoin. Many people have completely changed their lives with just Bitcoin. And if you dabble in the altcoins too long, you may never experience that. You may never experience that Bitcoin can truly change your life. And the other ones, it's a game, man. It's a game, and you can play it if you know how to play it. If you know the rules of the game, you can play the game. Don't get me wrong. I play the game all the fucking time. But if you legitimately think that other projects that aren't Bitcoin are going to be long-term investments that you'll sell in 10 years, the game's playing you. The game is playing you, my friend. That's my rant. Rant over. All right. How long have we been rambling here? About an hour, which we finish off on. We got to finish strong. Why don't we take a look at some assets that I think do have market demand? What do you guys think about that? Let's take a look at Chainlink. Now, Chainlink has cycle demand. Okay. It has cycle demand. And our last call was a flop. We're down 30% from the last call. But I think Chainlink does have the ability to rally in this market. It doesn't really look like it right now, but we're getting close to that rotation point. And Chainlink will be a beneficiary of that rotation point. This one's not a great chart to start with. We got to start stronger than that. Another one I think is strong. We already did cover Solana. Solana is definitely a contender in this market. And this structure is gorgeous. This one we're actually up since the call. If you're not in the Discord, it's free. What the fuck are you doing? We literally print money in there. 60% up from the call. And Kaspa, full transparency. This one I feel very late to. I'm not going to dance around it. I'm late to Kaspa. There's a lot of people that have been talking a lot about Kaspa, and kudos to you. Kudos to you, because you saw something that the rest of the market didn't. Kaspa looks very interesting. It has a ton of demand. It's got a real strong narrative, really strong narrative. Do I think it's going to outperform Bitcoin? Do I think it's going to beat Bitcoin? Abso-fucking-lutely not. If you think that this is a Bitcoin competitor, well, the market's a better teacher than me. But from a cycle perspective, Kaspa looks very interesting. Kaspa looks very interesting. I hope you're taking notes to what I'm talking about here. Arbitrum. Blech. Problem with this one is it was a huge airdrop. You got to let people sell their airdrop. That's airdrops are a double-edged sword. You got to let people sell that airdrop. And if Ethereum-based narratives take over, meaning Ethereum ETF, the Ethereum price is pumping, all things that I think are very logical and plausible, then you're going to see the entire Ethereum ecosystem, including layer 2s like Arbitrum, Optimism, and Immutable X, begin to head to the upside. Speaking of Immutable X is also one that I think has good value. We're up 173% from the original call on Immutable X. Ton's a little overheated right now. Pretty hyped, easy access, as this is the token that is on the Telegram app. Everybody in crypto has the Telegram app. So this one got overheated a little bit. I would be interested in being a buyer down at about $2.50. It's currently at $6.75. So I'm not interested in buying any TON coin, but I think that's one that will have some demand. And Ronin chain. We're not up there anymore. Only 142% since the call, but we're holding this one. This is a cycle play. This is going to be metaverse gaming, all that shit. What has happened in the past will happen again. All right. That's it. You got my ideas. You got your ideas. Be careful out there. Don't forget to check out the Discord. Don't forget to create your own black box trading account. Takes a few minutes. Get the exchange set up so that you can make 23% in a week, get 23% more Bitcoin. That's what we did just last week in a market that's not really moving. So the altcoins are certainly not doing that for you right now. But yeah, that is all the time I have for today. Thank you all for joining into the live stream. Trade safe, everybody. Have a good one. Bye-bye.